Hello, welcome to Azure Kubernetes Deployment Series Part 31. In this series, we are going to learn how to deploy microservices into AKS cluster using Flux CD and image automation. In this series, we are going to do everything through pipeline. So in our previous lesson, we have deployed the microservices into AKS cluster by using Flux CD. But in that scenario, we have pushed our Docker images and Helm charts to the Azure Content Registry manually. But today we'll use Azure Pipeline to build the Docker images and push it into the Azure Content Registry, and also it will push the Helm charts to the Azure Content Registry. So we'll use the Azure Content Registry as our Helm repository for the Flux CD. And also in today's lesson, we'll learn how we can use semantic version for the image tags. So in our previous lessons, we have used build ID as the image tag, but today we are going to learn how we can use semantics version for the image tags. Okay. So what I did initially, I have already started the infrastructure. If we, if we go to the command line here, you can see here I have this script I have already run, and this is already provisioned. My eh, my Azure Content Registry and the AKS cluster both are got created. Also, since I told I here we are using Azure Pipeline for pushing the Docker images and the Helm chart to the ACR. For that, in my development repository, I have already created the Azure pipelines. You can see in this Azure pipeline, I have this pipelines I have created for the services like config pipeline that will deploy the config map, order pipeline, product pipeline, rabbit message queue pipeline, and storefront pipeline. Okay, so this is already created, and you can see here I have added three different text file here. You can see order version. Okay, you can see this is the version initially I'm just keeping, and there is another one is product version. So it is the version is also 100. It is in semantic version, and we'll try how through pipeline will increment when we'll try to create a new image. We'll try to create the increase this the patch of this version. Okay, and similarly I have this storefront version. Okay, and here if we go one of this pipeline, what I'm doing here is this is my Docker build and push stage, and here I'm using this build YAML. Okay, I have created app template build YAML. You can go to the app templates here, and this is my build YAML, and I'm passing three parameters here. No, four parameters: the connection, Azure Container Registry Service connection, image name, which image it's going to build, and the file path where it will find the where is the Docker file is available. Okay, so it required that Docker file to create the image, and the image tag. Okay, so here the image tag. Uh, okay, so image tag I'm passing here. Image tag is build.build id, but I'm not using this tag here. I think let me just check it. This image tag, image name, image tag. Okay, so there is no. Okay, uh, just one thing. Tag is image tag. Okay, so this tag variable, in this build.yaml, I have this, but I am not using. Sorry. Okay, I'm not using that tag here. Okay, you can see no, here I'm using this variable, so that we can delete it. Okay, so what in order to increase that, because earlier I was using that, so it is still there, but we need to remove this tag. Okay, so in order to create the increment the version, so here I have used the bash scripts. Okay, so what it will do, it will read initially, it will read the version from the text file. I have mentioned the text file here. It is the image name hyphen version. You can see image name order hyphen version.txt, right? So it will read from which folder? It will read from the Azure DevOps folder. So the path I just mentioned, Azure DevOps folder, and the name of the image and its corresponding version text. Okay, so this is the path. So it will get that version initially, then it will do the patch part. It is taking the patch value here and it is incrementing here. You can see by +1 it is doing. So it will, the last value from this, it will increment to 1. Okay, then it will increment this, and what it will do again, that it will again write to that file. I mean, it will update in this version text, and it will push into the, and this is the code to check in or push that file again to the repository, because we need to keep it. Okay, so it will replace that value with a new value. That I'll show how it is getting replaced. Okay, and this is the Docker install. It will install the Docker in the in the image. Okay, I mean the build image or the virtual machine, and this will do the Docker push. Okay, so for that we can see this will just get that Docker image, and it will push to the container registry using the mm, um, here we are using this connection service, Azure Container Registry service connection. Okay, using that it will push it. Okay, so I have already, it is same thing for all this pipeline. For order product also it will do the same thing. The one part is like it is pushing the build and doing the Docker build and the Docker push. The next part, next stage is Helm package. It will again push that Helm chart. So the Helm chart again it will read from this path. So okay, it will read from this multi Helm chart. Okay, if you see, I'm just mentioned here the Helm chart, and that I'm passing here. So it will again it will go to the Helm push. There is another template is here, Helm push. So this will push that Helm chart to the Azure Container Registry. Okay, so this will automatically happen through the pipeline. So if you see, I have already done my pipelines here. You can see here these are the Azure service connection, and that I have already created, and the cluster service connection. Okay, so that is required for while pushing the Docker images and the Helm chart to the Azure Content Registry. Okay, so you can see the Helm chart is already for, this is for config pipeline, and this is already pushed here. Okay, you can see it is already pushed. Okay, next is the rabbit message queue. That is also already pushed to the content registry, and this is storefront. I have to run it, and you can see this is the product. Okay, product I have already run. You can see the Docker build and push and Helm package push, that is already there. So if we see, if we go, we are our repository here, and we can see product is already available. You see it increases 101, right? Initially, if you see in my this file here for product pipeline, the text file, it is 100, but it created a version with 101. Okay, so it incremented using this pipeline. Okay, build pipeline. So here it increment. Okay, patch equal to patch +1, and that, if you want to see that whether it is checked in our repository or not, for that if you want to see, let me go to this product version pipeline. So text. Okay, so it still shows 100. Now let me sync it or pull from the repository. Let me just run sync it. You can see it already pulled it. Okay, so it is now shows 101. So automatically the pipeline reading from it initially, then incrementing, and again replacing it in the file and checking into the GitHub. Okay, so that is done by through the pipeline. So it will happen for all this order storefront as well. Okay, now let me quickly run these pipelines as well. This is storefront. Let me run this storefront as well. You can see it will build the Docker image, and the Helm chart also it will push. You can see now it is not available here. It is not there. Okay, product is not there. Only, sorry, storefront is not there. Similarly, we need to build the order as well, order image as well. Okay, yeah, that's all about this infrastructure part, how we will create the Docker images and how the pipeline will push those to Azure Content Registry, and similarly the Helm charts. Okay, because of Helm charts we are referring from the Azure Content Registry using Helm repository. Okay, you can see here uh, in our deployment, right? Okay, we'll discuss how we can do in through the deployment. But in the development, the repository, this is the task. We have set up our pipeline, okay, and we have the Helm chart, and uh, and here we have the app services, okay, the applications, order, product, and storefront. Okay, next we will go and check how we can provision. Again, we'll create the Flux CD. Okay, so for that we need to bootstrap it. So in order to do that, what I have to do initially is I need to use these three variables. Need to export it. So let me export that. Also, I have to log in. Before to that, also I have to log into the cluster. So my cluster name is this, and using AKS get credential, I have to log into that cluster. It will take a, yeah, it's done. Now I'm able to log into the cluster, and these variables also have declared. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to bootstrap it. So where I have to create a cluster, it will create a clusters under that online store. Okay, let bootstrap it. Yeah, it will take few minutes to bootstrap the uh, repository. Okay, I mean it will deploy all these uh, components. You can see here these components, and along with these two extra components also it will include, that is image reflector and image automation. That is required because we are using here automatic image automation. Okay, so that is done. Now I'll sync. If I'll sync to the this repository, we can see this cluster got created. This is a cluster, and under this online store, okay, Flux system, it is got created. Okay, so as usual, you can see this, it is pointing to the repository, and it will monitor this folder for any changes. Okay, I mean for any to do any reconciliation, right? It will monitor this folder. Okay, so this part is done. Now what we have to do is uh, here we have to include our uh, um, file, like the image helm chart that we need to deploy. uh, Let me just go to the folder I have just created here. Okay, so here if we see under this cluster, how we have declared is we have to create the Helm repository, and also for the automate the image uh, I mean to uh, do the image upgradation, right? We need to declare this image policy, and we have to create an image repo and image upgradation. That I have already discussed in my previous lesson. Okay, so let me what. So in this scenario, what I'm trying to do is I have to deploy three different namespaces. Okay, dev, prod, and test environment. So this is already I have created before. Let me copy all these things, not this Flux system. So this I need to uh, put in my deployment. Okay, so this is my deployment folder, and under cluster uh, online I have to paste here. Okay, now if we see uh, here it is got created. You can see here what I have done is in each of this environment I have created, because I need to deploy all these services. So for that I have created the Helm release. This will deploy the config, and this Helm release will deploy the um, order. Similarly, it is defined for all these things. Okay, for prod as well and for test as well. Okay, so these are nothing. This Helm release is declared here to deploy that um, Helm chart to the cluster. Okay, so here I have taken three different environment, you can say. So it will deploy into the respective environment. Here dev, if you see the Helm release, it is deploying to dev namespace. Okay, and similarly the test will deploy into test namespace, and prod will deploy into prod namespace. The next thing what we have to do is we need to create the Helm repository. So this I have already discussed. This mainly point where our Helm charts are available. So this is nothing, our OCI Azure Content Registry, and this is the path. Okay, okay, let me just check by the time storefront is already deployed. Now what I have to do is product is done, then I have to start the order now. Okay, it will take a couple of minutes to deploy those. Now if you'll see here, product and storefront should be available by now. See, storefront is created, and here this is also 101. Okay, and storefront here, this is the this is also on the Helm chart. You can see these are the Helm chart for those services. Okay, and that is also, as I told, like it is deployed through the pipeline. You can go through the pipeline and see how it is doing that. Okay, now so this we have done. So next step, what we have to do is we need to create the secrets. Okay, um, so here let me go and create the secret first. Not this files here. In this file you can see, in order to create the secret, what I have to do, I have to use this two variable here. Okay, next what I have to do, let me, okay, now I have to get the password and username. Okay, since this is my password, I'll take, this is any one of these two you can use. So what I can do, I have to use here. Okay, I'll replace this 24G. Okay, 224. Okay, and this is fine, name will be same. Okay, and okay, let me create this secret. Now you can see the it's created, secret got created, and we are using the secrets. So here you can see this is a secret we are using, and another place also, uh, here the Helm repository also we are using the secret. Okay, now that's all. Now if we'll push it on the repository, let's see what is happening. Let's sync it. By the time we'll see whether our order, yeah, it is done. Now everything, it should be available now. Yeah, you can see order, product and store, these three Docker images available. Also all the Helm charts for the services are available. Okay, that's done. Now we have done, it is now done everything. Now we'll see how it is reconciling. We'll just check, watch it, is there any issue or anything. Okay, so in order to see it, deployment, let me go to this place. Okay, is there any error? Okay, let me just check the pod here. Okay, something wrong here, minus n. Okay, so not created still. Okay, it's fine. Just check Flux, any error. Okay, so it is shows that the namespaces are not created. Okay, let me create the namespaces first. Okay, we can do okay, create namespace dev. Okay, let me create the test also, the prod. Okay, so now we just created the namespaces. Let's see how it is. Okay, here you can see here namespace dev not found, it shows. Just wait for a couple of minutes, we'll see. Now it started. Okay, so if we go here and we'll see. Now see, it started creating. Oh, sorry. Okay, So test environment, it shows no. Dev, it is there. What about prod? Prod, it got created. Why test? Namespace is not okay. Test is not there. Yes, there. TST. Okay. Why it is not creating for test? Test TST, correct. No resource found in test namespace. Okay. Let me just check. Here test is there. Test environment is there. And here test namespace is there, correct. This is fine. Why it is not creating then? Just wait a couple of minutes then. Or we'll see here anything. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, get test. Okay, now it is creating. It's taking time. Okay. Okay, get pod minus n dev. So here you can showing that storefront. This is it's not finding the image. Okay, why it is? Let's see why it is not getting the image, because we are trying to. If you go to the Helm repository, here it is 1 greater than 0, correct. This is fine. This is okay. Let's go to the dev environment, then storefront, Helm release. What it shows here? Okay, here it is tag. It shows the tag 103, right? But we don't have available 103, so we have only one. Okay, so let me change it. Let me make it one also for the time to check. Let me post it again. Okay, so if we see now, just wait a few seconds. It should reconcile again. Okay, we'll just wait a few seconds. And for test, why it is, let's see. Okay, it is not coming into the. It is not coming because the image tag are different. You can see here. If we go, so it is taking 3 here actually. So here also, if you see, it is 3, and here also 3. So that's why it is not deploying. So let me push these changes. I just made these changes, and I'll again deploy it and push into the GitHub, so that we can see the pods in the test environment. Okay, so let's just wait few minute, so it will reconcile and we can see the pods it will show for all the environment. Okay, and one more thing we need to do, because we are using image updatation, so for that we need to provide the right access to the Flux CD. So for that, what we have to do is, and this is our source of truth deployment. Okay, and here in the setting, if you go, and we can see deployment keys, and this deployment key has only read only access. Okay, so for that, what we have to do, we need to delete this. So what I can do is, let me keep a copy of this, and also I need to get that key. Okay, so in order to get that key, I have to use this command. I have to use this command. Okay, let me use this command, so that okay. Okay, so let me copy this, so that I'll delete that key and create a new one with write access. Okay, so what I can do now, delete it. Let me delete add deploy. Okay, so create with the same name here, whatever is there. Okay, and this is my key. Okay, the same here, right? Yeah, the quality. Okay, this is fine. Then I'll give the right access, add the key. Okay, so for this it will ask you use passkey, send a code via email. Okay, verify with this. Let me open my email here. Okay, verification code. Okay, let me copy this. Next, what I have to do is I have to paste this one here, verify. Now my key got created, deploy key got created with read write access. Okay, now let's go to the VS Code again. Let's check the pod now for test environment. Now you can see it is created for all. Okay, so now for all the environments got created. Now what we need to see is here, the when we create a new Docker image and push into the Azure Container Registry, the Flux CD automatically take that new version of the image. Okay, then what it will do again, as I discussed yesterday, it will update this tag here, again check into the repository, I mean push into the repository, and as soon as it will push, again it will reconcile it. That means the new image will be available or deployed into the cluster. So before that, let's test it. What is our application is, let me get SBC, for example, prod. So here the storefront, this is my public IP. Okay, and here let me call this, sorry, something wrong with this. Okay, so call 145 on this. Okay, colon 80. This is so control-spate. It shows that the title is control-spate store. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go to our dev repository. Here we have the application. So the developer, what it will do, right, it will change any of this application. Let me do some changes to the application, not order. We'll do it storefront. Okay, so let me change here something. Let me add welcome. Okay, let me save this. So now once I push this, right, my pipeline automatically trigger, and it will create a new Docker image and push it into the Azure Container Registry. Then the Flux CD, as soon as it will find a new Docker image with a new tag, then again it will take that and it will update into the Helm release YAML file and push into the GitHub and reconcile it and deploy into the cluster. Okay, so that we need to see here. So developer modified its application and just pushed into the content registry. And here, if you see, I have the storefront pipeline. I have this one, right? Trigger. So as soon as any changes happen to this storefront folder, it will trigger the pipeline. If you go here, store a bit message queue storefront. Yeah, this is my storefront. If I'll come here, I can see it is already triggered here. Okay, now it is building the Docker image and it will, I can push into the Azure Container Registry. We'll see it will create a new version of that image. Okay, then we'll see how the Flux CD again pick that and deploy it, because here two part. The pipeline will create the Docker image, build the Docker image, and push into the other container registry, and also it will push that Helm chart to the container registry. But deployment part will be taken care by the Flux CD. So the Flux CD, since we are included here image updatation, right? So it will check for any image update in the Azure Container Registry. So as soon as any image, new image got added to the Azure Container Registry, it will take that and it will update the Helm release YAML file and push into the into the GitHub and reconcile it and deploy into the cluster. Okay, so we'll see that. So let me check storefront. Okay, it's done. Now you can see, just I'll refresh here. Storefront. 2 minutes ago, yeah, it is created. Now let me go and refresh. Why it is not created? Yeah, sorry, it is created. Okay, 102. So you can see it is incremented. You see, it is what it did 101 plus 1. And if we see in our GitHub here, if I sync it, my storefront, if we go to my storefront version text, we can find 2 here. Okay, earlier it was 1 and now it is incremented. Okay, so now this is fine. So now we'll see whether our Flux CD, you can see Flux CD already taken that one. So it made changes 1012, it made it 102 1 minute before. You can see. Sorry, I should not go there. Let me go. Which file it got changed? We can changes. You can see here. Let me see. It changed just now 1 minute before dev and moment. Okay. Storefront. Helm release. Okay. 2 minutes ago it changed. And if you go inside, you can see it got changed 1012 102. Okay. Now it got changed. So whether it is reflected or not, how we'll check is, and now if we take, okay, one thing we'll see here, whether it is the reflect, I mean the change done for all the environment or not, we'll see. Online, this is fine, it changed. Okay, it's changed. You can see it is changed for dev, prod and test. All, I mean, it changed it took the new image for all the environments for the storefront service. Okay, now we'll see whether the new image deployed or not. Okay, let me take any environment, that is fine. Okay, anyway, let's just go to, okay, let me check. Okay, get pod -n. We can see a new environment is fine. We'll see whether, first we'll check whether this is the new image reflected or not. For that, we can see, we can use k describe pod. Sorry. Okay, let me copy it again. Okay, now this is in namespace dev, right? This in dev. Okay, and here see, it is already taken 102. Okay, initially it is 101. Now what we'll do, we'll do k get sbc -n dev. Okay, and this is my public IP. Let me call it, sorry. Okay, colon 80. Now you can see this welcome, it shows welcome here. Before, you can see we have uh, displayed it. Before it was saying only contours of pet store, but here it shows welcome contours of pet store. So see, we have not done anything manual, everything is done through the pipeline. So as soon as the developer change anything, the pipeline, and push into the GitHub, so the pipeline will trigger and the pipeline will create the Docker images with a new tag. Okay, we are using semantic version of the tag here, and I have explained how we are maintaining a file here, and that file also the pipeline will read and it will update that again, check in to the GitHub. Okay, and so the pipeline will push that container, the Docker to the container registry, and Flux CD again use that. And if we see here, because if we in Helm Chart, right, storefront, it is 101 earlier. Now, if I'll sync it, we can see it is 102 because Flux CD did the image upgradation. Okay, so let me sync it. We can see it. Yeah, now you can see this became 2. Okay, so the Flux CD also using this Helm upgradation here. Okay, using Helm upgradation. Sorry, image upgradation. It is changing this tag here in the Helm release and deploying it into the cluster. Okay, so in this session, I in this video what I explained is like creating multiple environments using the same namespace. But if you want to deploy into multiple cluster as different environment, then we have to bootstrap. Like here, you can assume this is a dev environment, so we have to bootstrap and create another Flux system for that is connecting to new another cluster. Okay, so we have to create multiple bootstrap in that case. Okay, and if you see here, I have just did it for the storefront. Okay, you can see this is storefront image policy, storefront image repo, and storefront image upgradation. But I have not done for the order product. That we can do here. Simply you have to add these three files again. Repeat these three things for product order as well. Okay, I have only done it for the storefront. So if you add that again, you can change anything uh, in your order service or product service and check in it. Then it will create the Docker image and push into the content registry. And again, Flux CD will do the same thing. It will take the new version of the image and uh, update into the Helm release and push into the GitHub and reconcile it and deploy into the cluster. Okay, I think this is all the automation how we did for a multiple microservices using Helm Chart, using Flux CD with the image upgradation, and automated the Docker creation and Helm Chart um, pushing to the Azure Content Registry through pipeline. Okay, yeah. So that's all for today. Please. And at the end, you can just delete the deposit the you can delete the cluster. Okay, so that you can do using this command here. You can use this command to delete your infrastructure. Okay, okay, so thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe it and share it and like the video. We'll uh, discuss something new in our upcoming videos. Till then, bye bye. Thank you so much.